Hello everybody, I'm just going to give it a couple minutes to see if Amanda Flener will be joining me this morning. I am Patti and just give me a second here to have Amanda join. Amanda is watching and Amanda is going to be joining me here shortly. There we go. Let's see. Hi Amanda.
Yay! Here we are. Good morning.
Good morning. I am so glad that you're with me this morning after today. This morning it was just a crazy morning, wasn't it?
It was, and we just got to give a great big shout out to our caregivers in our private group who helped us with our video issues this morning and gave us great feedback. Always so supportive and helpful, whether it's to each other, to their veterans, to the things that they do in their community. So we've just got an awesome group of ladies and a few gentlemen that are really there for whatever they're needed for. So thanks, guys.
Yes, thank you so much. I had a little tech difficulty and everybody helped walk us through it this morning. And it just reminded me of military life. Nothing ever goes exactly as you have planned, does it?
That's absolutely true. And that's why we like to share part of our stories, is just to let everybody else out there know that what they're dealing with is not always unique and individual and just for them, that everybody else deals with some of the same issues, some of the same craziness, and some of the same challenges. So we're here to support you in that.
Yes, absolutely. So let's get rolling. We have some great holiday tips that we want to share, and Amanda's going to read them to us today. So Amanda, take it away.
Absolutely. The first tip that we have on our list for you today is just to stay calm at all times. So know that your attitude sets the mood for a lot of things. And while you can't necessarily change other people's behavior or other people's attitude, you're always in control of you. And so you can help set the tone for everybody else around you. So great tip number one.
Absolutely. And we learned that one even today. My internet was down at the office and I was starting to panic a little bit because I knew that we had to do this video and it was stressful. But when we were reading through the tips today on the phone, it was a great reminder of, okay, just calm down. Everything will be okay. And it is a lot less stressful if you just kind of take a few minutes just to breathe.
Yeah. And sometimes to get yourself calm, you need to sort of rationally, just throw things out there. And, Patti and I often chat, as many of our other caregivers do. And so sometimes maybe it's best not to be directed at your veteran, but just get that out there somewhere, not necessarily just venting all your anguish and wrath at the world, but just be able to keep that in check, and have an accountability partner sometimes is great.
Absolutely.
All right, so tip number 2, here we go. Don't rush. How simple is that, right? How easy is it to get in a rush? And then what does that happen? That makes your stress levels go up. That makes your anger and your tension go up. And then you're likely to forget something, right? How often do we forget things that we need when we just get in a rush, right?
Yeah, like my keys.
Yep.
Some of the caregivers in the group post pictures of they have 2 different shoes on. Hey, at least they had shoes on though, right?
Exactly. We got off one day this week and went to town, needed something from Staples. And guess what? Somebody in the vehicle that wanted to go left his wallet because it was a rush. And it happened. And, it's just one of those things. So anyway, so just whenever you can, slow down, take a few extra minutes, because 1 or 2 minutes is not going to hurt something. Today even, we were, 3 or 4, 5, 10 minutes late logging onto this video. But we knew that, not being rushed and doing it exactly at 10 would not be, worthwhile over being prepared. So thanks, Patti. I mean, you got to a great location, and, how beautiful is that? I mean, now we can share that with those that are watching.
Yeah, that is true. And it will help me relax a little bit too. Maybe I'll bring my laptop out and work here for a little while.
Yeah. So sometimes you just got to regroup. Tip number 3 is don't overextend yourself and know when it's okay to say no.
Yeah, how often do we say, okay, I'll bring, you know, all these items for the Christmas dinner, and we overextend ourselves, and people will say, are you sure I can bring something? Oh, no, I've got it. No, it's okay to say no, and it's definitely okay to ask for help.
Absolutely. A lot of times other people get just as much benefit out of helping as there's no point in you to struggle if there are people that you could, allow to help you and do, whether it's a little thing or a small thing. But, know when it's okay to say no and know when to ask for help as well. So, tip number 4 is make sure your family understands your veterans' needs. Okay? So, what would that look like, Patti?
Oh my goodness. Well, there was a time, the first time actually, that we went to my grandmother's house after Ken was injured. My grandma was so much smarter than I was when it came to these things. She had her back porch opened up. She usually did have her back porch opened up at her house for Christmas, but we call it a back porch, but it's all screened in and glassed in, and it was in Michigan, and she had, the heat on back there and everything. But Ken was able to go into that back room and enjoy that space, just to relax a little bit, to get out of the way. It was a nice, cool spot. Sometimes it gets a little bit too warm when there's crowded areas, so that was a nice little spot. So she understood before me some of his needs. And that was really neat, but it opened the door to all of us being able just to kind of talk and understand that, you know, more of what Ken needed. And so that was good. So
Yeah,
definitely
so
talking and communicating.
exactly. So if it's a quiet space that your veteran needs to escape the crowds or the hustle or bustle, people that he doesn't know, so maybe he's not familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a back bedroom or an escape to the vehicle, even to sit and listen to some music or whatever your veteran needs, just kind of be aware of that. Um, Additionally, next tip, start baking a little bit early. Start cooking and prepping earlier than the day of the event, or maybe even the day before. So that's a great tip that Patti threw out there for us, is to just not let everything pile up and be so much all at once, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then even, oh my goodness, this year I did something not quite on purpose. Some of our friends, their kids are selling fundraiser goodies, like the cookie dough and all that stuff. So I went ahead and I bought some from them. Well, I didn't even think about, like, at first, using that for Christmas goodies or giveaways or whatever. And so we did end up, I baked a bunch of those goodies, and Savannah took them to her theater class at school and used some of them up, and we still have some more. But even little things like that is a really good idea, to make things easier. Frozen foods that you can pop into the oven if you have to. Come on, it's not that. Use the deli at the supermarket.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'm not alone with all of our other veterans and caregivers that are listening. We have 2 or 3 appointments the week surrounding Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's going to make it more challenging to juggle the things that we might have to commit to, and all the more important to stay on top of things. Another tip that Patti has listed for us, and that you'll hopefully see soon, we'll be able to share with you as well, is to wrap the presents as you go, right? So instead of having a big mound of stuff and you feel it's so overwhelming, to wrap them as you go. And Patti's going to share a little bit more about that on, if you're shopping online, what you can do to support Hope for the Warriors.
Yeah, so I use Amazon a lot, and you can go onto Amazon and you can pick a charity to donate to. And so, of course, I donate to Hope for the Warriors. I'm a little bit biased, I suppose. But also, when you're checking out, it will give you a gift option, and it will ask you if you want to have your present wrapped. And for like maybe $3, I think it is, you can have the presents wrapped. So I order a lot of gifts on Amazon, have them wrapped and directly shipped to relatives or friends who are in other states, or just directly to my door, and I pop them under the tree.
Such an easy thing. And then you're supporting a great cause at the same time. So Amazon Smiles, Google it or search it right up there in the Amazon tab. And then a lot of times when you go back, if you don't go there first, Amazon will actually ask you if you want to start there before you check out. So, if you're shopping online, Hope for the Warriors would love for you to be able to support them as well. Another tip that we have that's quite similar to what we've already been talking about is to share the work by hosting Thanksgiving. I know it's past, but Thanksgiving or Christmas, just host a potluck. So allow other people, again, to be able to bring in and help support the effort.
Absolutely. I love potlucks anyways. Who doesn't?
More variety, right?
Yeah, and it helps you too. I mean, if you're going to a potluck, you can take a dish and it makes you feel good that you can bring something as well. So,
yeah. And if you're pressed for time, pick up something ready-made. Don't stress about it so much. All right, so be satisfied. Number 9, be satisfied with good enough, okay? You don't necessarily have to have everything exactly perfect. Bigger and better isn't always better.
Which is hard sometimes for me, and I think a lot of us out there, we want everything to be perfect. Have you seen that video of the woman? Well, I'm not really sure if it's a man dressed up like a woman or if it's just this crazy woman running around her house. Like, it's just supposed to be a comical video. And she's running around the house saying, hurry, company's coming. Like, get the house clean, get everything, perfect. Put the toilet paper on the right way, on the roll the right way. And we try to make everything so perfect. And that kind of goes along with one, the staying calm. Like, you're not calm if you're screaming at your whole house to get the house perfect for visitors. So that's a good one.
Yeah, great example. And then our last tip that we have prepared is just don't hesitate to ask for help. And I know we've thrown that in there with some of the other tips, but that's always a great place to end, is just don't hesitate to ask someone else for assistance. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It just might mean that you're smarter and okay with delegating a little bit. But know that it's always okay to ask for help.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's a very hard one. I think for me personally, I don't know about you, but I like to do everything myself. I feel like if I can control everything, then it will go exactly as it's supposed to. But do you know how much stress that makes? Like, it makes a lot of stress. So Sherry's saying right now her Christmas tree is half lit. It's not perfect, but it looks, I think it looks good. She did show us pictures. And, it's not maybe perfect in her eyes, but it'll work.
Absolutely. And it's been an interesting few weeks as we've asked our caregivers to share tips with us, to share challenges with us. And that's something that we've discussed in our private Zoom meetings, which we'll talk about a little bit at the end on how you can connect with that if you're interested. But one of the other caregivers mentioned to me earlier in a private message that she says, and I'm going to quote, "I've learned to take deep breaths, never give up on me time, and press forward. I can choose to live in the molly grub sadness or be positive, and I choose to be positive." So what a great little, blurb, just, of insight there that other people can know too, just to take a few moments, slow down, take deep breaths, and just move on, because there's no point in just dwelling in that sadness if that's where you are. Just try to push forward and get out of that funk.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you, Amanda, for joining me this morning. I know I moved around quite a bit. I actually have kind of a little audience here today. I'm not usually too shy, so it doesn't bother me too much, but I am trying to move out of people's way once in a while. There's some fishermen over here enjoying the show and probably wondering what I'm doing. But it's been a really nice day here in Florida, and I hope wherever you are watching this video that you're having a nice day where you're located. And Amanda, thank you again for your help as always, and thank you, caregivers.
And you know, before we leave, if anybody's watching that's not connected in our caregiver support group and the caregiver services that Hope for the Warriors offers, they can go to hopeforthewarriors.org and click apply for services, and somebody will get back with them, and then we'll be able to connect with you in the things that we offer and see you there.
Yes, please do. See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.